Welcome to my YouTube channel, Capricorn. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, intuitive astrologer, Reiki master, and empowerment coach. And today I'm going to talk about Capricorn rising, moon, sun, and stelliums, your January 2023 monthly horoscope. These videos are based on whole sign Western astrology. So I'm talking about Capricorn rising, meaning that is your first house. If you don't know your rising sign, you just need your time of birth, location, and obviously the day and year, and you can plug it into any one of the free birth calculators on the internet, and it will give you the information as to what your rising is, your moon, etc. I say this because I think this is a really powerful time for Capricorn. We are going to see some really powerful aspects going on when we start the year. And while the first few weeks are going to feel a little bit sluggish, the first half of 2023 has pearls there for us to benefit from as we move forward in the year. So Capricorn, the year starts with Jupiter re-entering Aries. That happens on December 20th, 2022, and Jupiter will stay in Aries until May 15th, 2023. Thereabouts. I'm in the Pacific time zone, so you can adjust that for wherever you are in the world. This re-entry is in your fourth house. The fourth house traditionally represents the home. It represents the homeland. It represents the primary parents' nurturing skills. It represents your intuition, your ability to self-nurture. And here we're seeing the imprint of Aries on top of the fourth house. And I feel like Jupiter coming into this house is giving you an opportunity to be brave and courageous as you reassess the experiences that you had as a child and how they defined you. Capricorn by nature is a committed, disciplined, responsible energy. And having this Jupiter in the fourth house gives me an opportunity to think. Jupiter represents my belief system. It represents religious beliefs. It represents philosophical beliefs. Who am I? Why am I here? And the fourth house and how we were nurtured and how we were raised is going to very much influence those questions. So here I believe that Jupiter is giving Capricorn an opportunity to reinvent themselves, but not by throwing the baby out with the batter, but capitalizing on the previous experiences and any review of them that you had while Jupiter was retrograde into Pisces can really give you some sort of spiritual anchor to any of the challenges that you may have had, and now set the tone for your own self-nurturing as a way to nurture others and to allow yourself maybe even to potentially change residences. You could see yourself starting to plan moving to a place you've never lived before. And I don't necessarily want to make that a foreign country, although it's absolutely possible. It can also just be a place where you've never experienced before. It's foreign to you. So I think this is very exciting. We've also had Mars retrograde for most of 2022. And as we move into, it hasn't been retrograde. It has been in Gemini for most of 2022. It is retrograde right now in Gemini, and it will be moving forward January 12th, 2023, and remain in Gemini until March. So Mars is our action planet. Mars is the ruler of your fourth house. Mars can be considered cranky, aggressive. It's the god of war. It's been known to be blunt, a little assertive in a way that feels uncaring about somebody else. And here in Gemini, in your sixth house, you may find that you've been irritated with some of your workmates. The sixth house rules employers and employees, and there may be a lot of disruption in this area that is allowing you even further reflection about how you want to nurture yourself and what you believe about yourself. I'm going back to Jupiter being in Aries. Mercury has also been retrograde in Capricorn now. It starts on December 29th, 2022, and then moves all the way into January and goes direct January 18th. So this really feels like there's a lot of review about yourself, about your everyday activities, about how you're communicating with others. There may even be some review about your siblings and how your siblings were nurtured versus how you were nurtured, or you may have been responsible for your siblings, have a bit of a duty towards them. And now there's a potential for a reevaluation about if you're depleting yourself, if you're operating on obligation rather than inspiration, are you really being at the highest level of service you can be to others? The sixth house rules service. And so I think this is how the new year is going to start, with this really reflective energy, not necessarily taking action per se, but more, it feels like an interior job, an emotional job. And Capricorn has been known to push their emotions aside to get the job done, being very practical and assuming a position of leadership. And maybe this leadership now is best served by nurturing yourself and your dreams and your desires. We will see Venus entering Aquarius around the 2nd or the 3rd, again, depending where you are. This is your 12th house. This is a time Venus Venus will feel liberated when she moves into Aquarius after having been in Capricorn, because sometimes in Capricorn, she worries about money. So I feel as if this is an opportunity to start to use unique expression. This is being in your 12th house. This gives you an opportunity to imagine a new life for yourself, to sit back and really maybe even meditate, maybe allow yourself the privilege of playing good music. If you enjoy poetry, writing, dancing, watching movies that are aligned to the future you want. And I want to offer it this way because I want them to be an uplifting, liberating energy. Aquarius is very liberating. It also will spark genius in some ways. And I feel as if there could be this opportunity for Capricorn to feel Venus pumping up your self-worth, giving you more confidence to be independent, and how this is potentially at this moment in time a karmic choice to reprint an old pattern. I don't really think we can get rid of patterns. I think that once we've experienced things in the human body, they kind of stay with us through life. But what we can do is extract the wisdom of them. And I think Venus is really representing your self-worth and potentially even liberating yourself monetarily. Aquarius rules our hopes and our dreams. It's also a very futuristic and forward-thinking sign. And in the 12th house right now, it feels like it's about meditation, contemplation, imagining, musing about a new future. When we get to around the 6th of January, again, depending where you are in the world, we're going to have a full moon in Cancer, which I'll be doing a separate video on, but this is going to be in your 7th house of partnerships. And for some reason, I'm not necessarily going to marriages right now. I feel like I'm going to contractual partners that I work with, that I have some sort of collaboration with, cooperation with, an endeavor with. And I feel like this full moon is going to illuminate something. And I believe this could illuminate an intuitive part of you, Capricorn, that you have otherwise ignored. You tend to be practical. You tend to want to build in the 3D world. And this is now an opportunity to see things clearly and from a place that gives you an opportunity to have a new tool in your chest. And that would be trusting your intuition a little more. But we'll look at that more when we do that video specifically. On the 21st, we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius. This is where the sun and the moon come together to create new things. This is now the darkest phase of the moon. And this new moon is going to be joining Saturn and Venus in Aquarius. They're not close to each other. Venus and Saturn are a little further into the house, but this first degree is pivotal. Number one, I believe it's pivotal because it's at the Aryan degree, the first degree. And we see that kind of playing back to Jupiter being in Aries right now, and that being your house of home. How will you allow yourself to individualize yourself? What permissions will you give yourself to plant seeds for your personal expression, your personal perspective and view of how you want to run your life. Because this new moon is not just in your 12th house of karmic choices and of self-undoing. The 12th house is generally considered a house of troubles. And I think it's because if we are not in a conscious state of connection with our higher selves, we tend to either fall prey to patterns that we mask and we hide and we run away from. That's why the 12th house rules addiction. It can also make us go crazy because we feel such a disconnection from the truth of ourselves. So here, Aquarius, being your 12th house, is offering you liberation from a nervous energy of, and I don't necessarily think of Capricorn as being nervous, but under the surface, behind the scenes, you may feel, if you are not dutiful to that and what is expected of you, that there will be trouble afoot. So here, this new moon offers you an opportunity to plant the seeds for a new life. Now, I want to go back to your new moon in Capricorn in December was at 1 degree. The moon prior to that in Sagittarius was at 1 degree. We will have a Pisces new moon at 1 degree. And then on the 21st of March, we will have a new moon in Aries at the 0 degree, which is a critical degree on the world axis. I believe, and then the subsequent one will be an eclipse. So I believe this is really about being brave, again, and courageous. Aries, the 1st degree, in how we're processing this. It's not about assigning blame or being upset or resentful, but actually allowing for a new footing moving forward. It's like extracting the wisdom and then removing the obligation and replacing it with opportunity. And finally, on the 27th of January, Venus will enter Pisces, which is your 3rd house. And I think this may be where you're starting to feel more warm, fuzzy feelings. Venus loves to be in Pisces, and your 3rd house is going to rule the way you think. It's going to rule the way you speak. It's going to rule, all with a Piscean spin on it. So, meaning a spiritual spin, an empathetic spin, a spin of compassion, of looking at your brother and your sisters, maybe even literally, or just the people around you, with a more warm, fuzzy, loving eye. I also feel like this is an opportunity where Capricorn may get to have some social activity. January is not typically super social because it's right after the holidays, but this is at the end of January. So you may find a little bit of romance coming your way with Venus and Pisces in your 3rd house. There may be something that becomes attractive to you within your community, your neighborhood. And there may even be some new feelings within your work environment, if you work in a team environment, or if you work with a group of other people. You may find them being really responding to the growth that you've done and the evolution you've experienced over this last year. Pluto going through your 1st house has been no joke. And now that Pluto's at the end of that experience, it's really about mastering, coming from your heart, mastering your own psychological transformation so that you can build in the material world the dreams that you desire. All right, Capricorn, again, that's me, Teri Hunter. If you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is below. I am available. And please join me on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Pacific time, where we do our angel scopes. That's where we do readings, and the angels give us advice for traversing the week ahead's transits. So we'll be doing that. Also, as a piece of information, I will be taking the last 2 weeks of December off. January 1st, Sunday is the 25th, is Christmas, and then January 1st is New Year's Day. So the team and I are going to take holiday. We will be filming or live streaming the last one on the 18th, which you won't see because this isn't going to get published till the 21st. Sorry, I just said that. But then we'll be back on January 8th, 2023. Thank you for putting up with me. I've got South Node on my Mercury in Scorpio, so every once in a while. All right, everybody. Peace out.